Hello and welcome to our 12 noon, our usual ritual. You've been watching this all through England for about 3 months. We took a break for a month and now we are back in Dubai. And this is our 12 noon show. You will see this almost every day for the next 20 days, as you will see many lives from here in Dubai as we build up to the Asia Cup, first to the India-Pakistan game and then beyond that to India-Oman and then the Super Fours when the tournament will become better and some of these relatively easier games will be a thing of the past. The plain focus here has to be what we've seen last evening on Shubman Gill. I mean, people will say PR, people will say whatever are, we don't care. But the batting, the fielding, the intensity, the sprints with Surya,
yes,
the catching drills, the commitment of the guy, you know, clearly at the age of 25, 26, he is setting an example for everyone and telling the world why he is captain of India in one and already vice captain in another and possibly all format in the future.
You know, let's look at it from this perspective. Virat Kohli, you know, that one video of his going viral, talking to a young kid during that Ranji Trophy game. And he was asking him, you know, what is the secret of being successful? And Virat Kohli said, if someone is practicing for 1 hour, you make sure that you're practicing for 2 hours. And if someone is practicing two, you do 3. And that's precisely what Shubman Gill is displaying out here. Ever since the England tour, we've been watching him very, very closely. He's been on song. He's taken on a lot of responsibility at a very, very young age, 25 years, as young as me. He's the Indian captain. But the amount of dignity and class that he sort of, what's
oozing.
the word that he's
Showing.
oozing? Yes, he's absolutely the way that he's carrying himself at the moment. Now, when we talk about the cricket part of it, he's not looked bad or looked technically, you know, if that there's a fault or something like that. That hasn't happened for a very, very long time in Shubman Gill's case. He's working pretty hard. Yesterday as well, we saw that he batted an hour or so in the nets. He was hitting big shots. He was clean hitting, precise hitting. And then he came out, took his catches, flat catches, and very intense session that was with T. Dilip. Rinku Singh was sort of, you know, alternating with Shubman Gill. But 1 or 2 catches that he took, one-handed diving catches, and he was also
I think we have a video of that.
We do have a video of that, and he was also, you know, he knew that was a very, very good catch because he just laid there on the ground for a little bit. And he was like, you know, he was very ecstatic of after taking that catch. And then he goes on, he does some sprints, he talks to Gautam Gambhir, he talks to everyone else. I think he's showing us some real quality leadership material at this moment. And I said this yesterday as well in our live, that maybe what we're looking at in front of us right now is the next all-format captain, because he's showing us that he's well-rounded, he's doing well in every single format, he's putting in all his heart, soul, blood, sweat and tears.
100%, and let's first break it down for you what he did. The Indian team came out to train at around 5. There was the usual fielding drills for about 30, 35, 40 minutes. And in the 30, 35, 40 minutes, the two groups were divided and they were throwing, trying to throw down a water bottle. And Shubman Gill was one of the most excited out there. He was screaming, he was shouting, he was in it. And at that point in time, the temperature was still around 38, 39. So it wasn't easy. It's not like now when we are recording this show that the temperature has fallen quite a bit and we can actually stand outside and do this. There's a breeze blowing. There is a breeze blowing and it's not that bad. But when India was practicing and Shubman Gill was doing that, it was intensely hot. And yet, at no point in time did we see his intensity drop even for a single second or a single iota. Point number 2, and by the way, balls coming in and banging. I just hope that the two of us don't get hit or something like that. If that happens, that's a calamity. But we hope that that's not going to happen, because someone clears the net or plays a
we're in the
back
ring
scoop.
Of fire.
Yeah, you know, plays a lap scoop and the ball might just come.
One landed right in front of us, one landed next to us. So
let's be aware. We will put Vinod and Ashok in charge. Check for balls if they are coming at us, because 2 balls, one went that side, one went that side. So if somebody plays a lap and it comes straight at us, we've got to be careful. Anyway, back to Shubman Gill. The second part of the drill, after he finished the fielding drill, he went straight in, changed batting gear on, straight into the nets, excellent. And that entire batting session, the way he was hitting the ball, there was one straight shot which I remember that literally cleared the fence in no time. And all of India, the entire team was up in raptures applauding that shot. That's how good he was. He was batting against all of the bowlers and he was looking excellent. And then the third part was the training with T. Dilip along with Rinku Singh, where Gargi described it beautifully. He took a left-handed, one-handed literally a catch, flung himself from thin air, a couple of inches above the ground, picked it up and was lying down celebrating that catch. He tried quite a few of those, got a few. So Shubman Gill, the fielder. And finally, after everything was done, in fact, as we record this, we can still see him along with Surya Kumar Yadav sprinting. Now this, 3 hours in this heat, this is not England.
Intense.
This is intense. So that's what we wanted to describe to you as part of this video. And the way he conducts, there's no shusha.
No.
He's professional about what he's doing.
Incredibly professional. And you can tell that he's always in that zone. No matter what is going on. And in fact, when he was taking those catches after that one brilliant dive, there were a few kids around on that side of the ground, and they were calling out Shubman Gill, but he did not budge because when you're in that zone, you don't want anything to sort of disturb that. Maybe he will go in and meet those kids later. Something like that could very well happen. But at the same time, when you look at, because there's so much media around, plus with the kind of atmosphere that there is right now, the tension, the pressure of the India-Pakistan, the geopolitics, everything that is involved here, Shubman Gill...
His body language didn't give it away.
No, exactly. And he can't... he cannot afford to lose at this point. He cannot afford to do badly in that game. So he knows that the stakes are high. He knows what's on the line. But the way that he conducts himself, and we've been very impressed with the way that he's been carrying himself, with the calm, composed confidence that he uses. Brilliant. I think this is, from a 25-year-old, this is more than we could expect.
That's Gargi pushing her own age for you again. So I'll give that to you. She's multiple times said, as young as me. So that's Gargi trying to push her own agenda. Forget that. But yes, she's right. I mean, it's maturity beyond his age. It is maturity beyond his age. And there's no way he will not be feeling the heat. There's no way he will not be feeling the tension. There's no way he will not be feeling the pressure. Let's set this up for you. I mean, Shubman Gill against Shaheen Afridi at the top of the order will be quite a battle. Yeah. And Shubman Gill will know that he has to do the job, because the reason why Shubman Gill has been preferred at the top of the order is this game. Because they know that there will be games when it could be a 170 chase. It could be a 160 chase. It will not be a 200 chase that you have to go, bang on from ball one. It is not the Abhishek Sharma kind of platform. It could well be something very different in an atmosphere, real jingoism, banter and all of that going on. Also, a pitch which will assist spin. So maybe 160, 170, 175, and that's where you need Shubman Gill.
Absolutely. I mean, the kind of stability that Shubman Gill brings in, I think that's something that you can't take for granted. And if Shubman Gill is not there at the top of the order, the kind of foundation that he lays, and we've seen that this back in England as well, the way that he bats with the Abhishek Sharma, as aggressive as he is still very, very young. He's not
but
younger than. But with him, it's
hit and miss also. It's hit and miss with Abhishek Sharma.
So when there's someone like that batting at the other end, you need a Shubman Gill to be, a little bit more mature. You need him to sort of anchor the innings, not exactly anchor, play aggressively, but at the same time make sure that you're not excessively rash. You're not playing rash shots. And Abhishek Sharma, with the kind of naturally fearless game that he has, there are moments where he could sort of fall to a rash shot. So you need Shubman Gill to stabilize the innings, and that is precisely why it's so important to have an opener alongside Abhishek Sharma who has a very calm head on his shoulders.
And the other point that I want to make here about Shubman Gill is the way Surya Kumar Yadav and Shubman Gill have gelled as captain and vice captain. I could spot at least 5 occasions as part of India's training where the captain and vice captain were having a dialogue. Be it with coach Gautam Gambhir, be it just a kind of small huddle where the two of them were chatting, be it that when the two of them were running sprints, be it when in the batting nets as well. But you could see that the body language of the captain and the vice captain was quite fantastic, and that again augurs well for a team, because if the captain and vice captain are in sync and on the same page and are together, like the way we have seen a Shubman Gill and a Surya Kumar Yadav, that has to be fantastic for the team. And that tells you that this guy is an absolute team man. He's an absolute hard rock team man. So what if he's captain in test match format? Look at the way he's gelled. He is a hardcore team man.
Absolutely, and credit to Surya Kumar Yadav as well.
Yes,
here,
yes.
Because it could very well be that this could have been a situation where there's a clash of egos. It could very well be like that. These are all, creme de la creme of the cricket world, of the cricketing circuit. And when they come together, Shubman Gill, and that's what we keep talking about, right? When we talk about the Indian circuit and we talk about split captaincy or split coaching or something like that, we always say that in Indian cricket, having one figurehead or one focal point is the solution or is the formula for Indian cricket. But here, where at this moment we're seeing a Surya Kumar Yadav who's senior to Shubman Gill, you're seeing a 25-year-old versus someone who's been in the circuit for a very long time, and they're coming together, captain and vice captain. It could have very well been a clash of egos, but it's not. And the way that the two have taken this responsibility, especially in the context of India-Pakistan and everything that's going on back in India, it's incredible what we're seeing from the dressing room.
You've got it back to India-Pakistan. We've been doing your hunch story from England. Every time I've said, what is your hunch saying? And most occasions you've kind of predicted wrong. Sorry, predicted right. Anyway, but what is it like? I mean, what's your gut saying? Shubman Gill versus the Pakistani bowling attack at the top of the order?
I think Shubman Gill wins. I think right now, the kind of form that he's in, the kind of effortless batting it's not effortless, we all know that. It just looks effortless, and that's how you know that a batter is really in rhythm, when they make batting look easy. When someone is batting and you think, oh, I could do that, I think that's when a batter is at its peak. And that's what Shubman Gill is looking like to me at this point. On and off the field, he's so incredibly confident. I think he'll tear the Pakistan bowling lineup apart.
All of India would want that to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely want that to happen. Last few minutes on this particular show. What else happened in that practice drill? Quick recap. Sanju Samson, yet again, a cynosure of all attention. Sanju Samson looked good to me. Sanju Samson, that point made by Sitangshu Kotak that yes, he's not batted at 5, but that does not mean that he can't do it. And that was pretty much an emphatic point he made to a question by Kushant Sarkar at the start of that press conference. And Sanju Samson, once again, I mean, whatever you guys want to call it, Sanju Samson will bat 5. I don't think his batting position will change. Surya Kumar Yadav will bat 3. Sanju will keep wickets, and he looked good to me in batting, in keeping wickets. He did some special drills as well. He looked good to me. Among the bowlers, I saw the faster bowlers. Even Arshdeep went and did a stint. All of the bowlers went and did a stint. The Indian team overall, Gargi, to sum up, the body language looked good. Despite all this pressure, they have so far, at least from the look of it, somehow have been at least giving the perception or the impression that they've cocooned themselves.
I call it the Rohit Sharma formula. Rohit Sharma is always, look at any press conference of his. Does it ever look like he's under pressure? To me, it's never looked like he's under pressure. Of course, he will be. There are moments where you are under pressure. He is human after all. He has a thick skin, yes. He doesn't care what social media says. But at the end of the day, you are human. And when you're in such a high pressure situation, it tends to get you down. But Rohit Sharma always keeps it so light, and I think that's what is sort of reflecting again in this dressing room. I think that has been carried forward, and the fact that maybe there's a lot of contribution here from Gautam Gambhir as well to keep it very light-hearted. You're seeing that, the practice sessions are also very light-hearted. It's all about keeping the spirits high. It's all about supporting each other. When they do those, fielding practices, you see that when they're in groups and all of that, they're supporting each other. It's a very enthusiastic atmosphere right now, even though there's this entire context of geopolitics and India versus Pakistan, boycotting, this and that. But at the same time, you need to make sure that your team is protected from outside noise, that noise is just noise, that it never becomes a narrative inside the dressing room. And I think that the management, the leadership, be it Shubman Gill, be it Surya Kumar Yadav, or the seniors in the team, maybe a Hardik Pandya, they are doing that very, very well.
You know, today is a day when it's the 13th of September. And Sourav Ganguly is filing his nomination for the President of the Cricket Association of Bengal, where according to me, he's going to be elected unopposed. So let me try and end this show with a Sourav Ganguly story. You go to Sourav Ganguly and he's led India to many such incredible victories against Pakistan in world tournaments, including the one in 2003 in Centurion, that amazing match, and against the backdrop of the Kargil war. So the context is very similar. Sourav Ganguly, once again, that 1999 World Cup, England played a stellar role in that World Cup, was perhaps India's best player in that World Cup, Sourav Ganguly. So when I keep all of this in mind, he has won many of these matches. And I went and asked him, when you're playing Pakistan against this backdrop, the backdrop of geopolitics, the backdrop of tension, the backdrop of all of this, what do you do? And he said, look, you go and ask any player, and the player will tell you this is another game. And the player is obviously not telling you the truth. But what do you do? If you are a cricket player, and if you tell yourself every moment, oh, you know what, this is not just another game, this is something special, this is India, Pakistan, anything can happen, you will not be able to focus and do the job. At the end of the day, and I'm trying to paraphrase, quote, whatever you call it, he said, it's still the ball, it's still the bat, it's still that cricket pitch. Tell yourself, I do it every day. And here I will end with two words that Neeraj Chopra's coach Klaus Bartonides had told him when he went ahead in Tokyo before that final throw. He went to Klaus and he said, coach, final words. This is the Olympic final. And Klaus told him two words. And the two words were, Maze karo. You've got to believe that you will be in that zone, as Gargi said.
Yeah.
You've got to believe this is a cricket game. Yes, it is India, Pakistan, but it's still a cricket game. And you're not carrying the baggage of what has happened. That's not your job. You are as patriotic and as nationalistic and as everything, perhaps more. But when you're out there, you're representing India in a profession that you have made it your calling. And I've got absolutely no problems in that. I'll give you the last words.
You know, again, we're one day away from the India-Pakistan game. But like you said, it's all about the game now. It's when you step onto that field, when both these teams, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on Pakistan as well at this point. But when you talk about the Indian diaspora, the Indian team, the Indian management, when they step out on the field, they have to remember that at the end of the day, it's just a cricket match. Now, yes, there is a lot of context to it, but they have to perform their best. They have to be their best. They can't lose this game either.
That's a contradiction, but that's her sentiment coming out.
Yeah.
You can't lose this game either.
No.
On that note, let's finish. We'll be back. We'll be back from Dubai live at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. And then obviously in the evening, when India practices, we'll build up to that. And we'll also be part of the press conference ahead of the match. Thank you very much for watching.